What's up, my lads? It's been a bit. Sorry about the lack of content. It's been a little rough, but let's get started with some good old-fashioned 40k. And I'm thinking we rank all the Space Marine chapters, well, some of them, and some Chaos Warbands. It should be fun. All right, starting off with the Dark Angels. You know, these guys are mid, but they can become Chads with the Lions because I'm hoping they finally get rid of that stupid Fallen plotline. Well, not even just get rid of it, but move past it. I was so tired of every single Dark Angel book revolving around the Fallen in some way. They could be fighting some orcs on some random planet, and then somehow it'll turn out, oh wait, it was all being orchestrated by the Fallen. Yeah, no, it got tiring. So glad the Lion's coming here and just forgiving them because maybe we can finally move past that plot line. I doubt it, but if they do, just consider them moved up to Chads because their aesthetic is at least Chad tier. All right. Ooh, Alpha Legion. If they had actually had a bit more story going on and not just lol Mimi, look at me, I have plans within plans within plans, I'd put them higher. But they got a good aesthetic. They don't really do much, which is a point against them, I suppose. But they're not awful. So, we're going to put them in mid-tier. Alright, Celestial Meow Meows. Mid-tier. Getting owned by, air quotes, orc snipers is not exactly a good look on anyone's part. I know the Inquisition is very scary, but come on. Like, seriously, you're Space Marines. I expect better. But your lore is pretty okay, and I like your characters, so we'll put you in mid-tier. Black Legion. Aesthetically, I like them. They're a Chad tier. Lore-wise, if you like them, I'm concerned for you. There's only two kinds of Black Legion players. One, you like the lore, and you think Abaddon's cool, in which case I hope you step on a Lego. Or two, you're an aesthetics enjoyer and you just like the idea of your Chaos Space Marines being black and gold. In which case, you can be put in mid-tier because that's a pretty okay reason enough to paint your guys like Black Legion. If you like their lore, I'm concerned for you. Go get some help. Speak to your dad because no one should be like that. Alright, Black Templars. First Chads. These guys should be the poster boys for the Space Marines. All the memes about the Crusader Knights, these guys are it. I honestly believe the Black Templars are the most Space Marine out of the Space Marines. They are a chapter that's better than their Primarch. Love these guys. Top tier aesthetic too. Same thing with the Blood Angels, and they actually have a good Primarch. Like, Dante's cool. Oh, Dante is one of my favorite Space Marine characters. Like, his flaw, I read his books and I adore them. Honestly, Dante might be a better character than Sanguinius, but Sanguinius isn't a bad character, which, is the reverse is true for like the Black Templars, where Sigismund is way cooler than Dorn, and the chapter's way cool. The Black Templars are way cooler than the Imperial Fists. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I think Blood Angels get a safe Chad tier. Space Sharks. Cool concept, not enough about them, but they aren't that. I like, the possibility that they might either be traitor Night Lords makes them a lot cooler. Yeah, I'll put them above the Alpha Legion and the Celestial Meow Meows. Yeah, they're I'll even put them above Dark Angels. I might move them up. They're pretty cool. Crimson Fists. Yeah, you guys are Chads. I love the Crimson Fists. Another tier. Yeah. Now that I think about it, they don't really got a good aesthetic to put them in there, but they definitely have better lore. It's a consequence of, outshining your parent. Like, the Crimson Fists are just way better Imperial Fists than Imperial Fists. They make the Imperial Fists, except, less boring. Weird how they have so similar motifs. Yeah, no. You guys are the king of mids, but you could definitely be moved to Chad if you had like a top tier aesthetic. Death Guard. Their models look sick. Their lore is okay. You know what? A lot of their characters are just better than Mortarians, so I'm just gonna put them in mid tier. They're a safe mid tier. Like, oh, their models are gorgeous. But yeah, they're a chapter that's better than their Primarch, so you know, pretty good for them. They'll be safely mid. Deathwatch. As an Eldar player, I always have a bone to pick with the Deathwatch. They're a mistake. How dare they? They're the reason why the Yinkarn couldn't, you know, get squat Slanesh. I blame them. Awful, awful things. How dare they even touch a single Eldar? I spit on you. I dab in your general direction. So we'll put them there. Oh yeah, yes, this list is very biased. No, I'm not apologizing. Emperor's Children. The first Chaos Space Marines that go up into Chad. Top tier aesthetic. You know, fun lore. Like, absolutely Mog Iron Hands in every regard. Like, always a treasure. Like, their books are the most fun to read about just because you were always going to be seeing some level of insanity. Yeah, Emperor's Children go up there. I mean, they're named Emperor's Children. Just rub salt on the wound, why don't you? Flesh Tears. They're better than the Crimson Fist, and I say this as a Crimson Fist fanboy. If I was, they're pretty fun. I like how Gabriel Seth does not worship Dante, which is rare. Like, usually you'll have one. Oh, you'll always have one Spaceman character going like, "Oh my god, he's the best. He's like the granddaddy. Oh my god, I love this guy." Nah, Gabriel Seth will literally square up with Dante if it comes to that. So I respect that. Alrighty then. Next up, Grey Knights. I'm gonna be honest. Most of my bitterness for Grey Knights probably comes from the fact that I'd never believed that the Custodes or, you know, should have been an army. So maybe that's why I'm a little bitter towards them. They at least look cool, and their lore is sometimes okay. Mid tier. Imperial Fists. It's a shame how boring you guys got after the heresy. Like, so very boring. Even if Rogel Dorn was to come, like, Rogel Dorn coming back and spicing them up might be the only thing that could save them from being as boring. Because, God, just nothing cool about these guys. Their lore's, like, non-existent in 40k. Like, think about it. They got outshone in 40k by their successors. That's pretty sad. I can't think of a single other chapter that's had that similar situation. Yeah, they're a mistake. Alright, Iron Warriors. Chads. Some of the people who are watching this are probably going, that's why he did that. Yeah, I love the Iron Warriors. Bitter autist to the extreme. Always hating. Always on that. I hate everything grind set. Iron Warriors are such a fun little evil mustache twirling treat. I love these guys. Every single time. And their paint scheme's awesome. Not disgusting like yellow. Who paints their guys yellow? Disgusting. What an awful color. Paint your guys silver. You know, go full Necron. But yeah, hiding my inner Iron Warrior bias. Love these guys. I love to hate them. They're great, just like the Emperor's Children. Great villains. Lamenters, Chads. Yeah, Lamenters, their entire story. The only thing that would possibly move them down is their god-awful paint scheme. Oh my god, I saw someone at my local game store one time try to freehand paint the heart with the teardrop. I'd never seen a person that wanted to break their model before, but that guy wanted to do that, so don't blame him. God, that sounded it just looks awful. Alright, moving on. Night Lords! They're mid. I liked the new Kill Team models for them. I don't much care for their aesthetic. I thought the Night Lord trilogy was okay. I kind of was happy when everybody got utterly mollywopped at the end, especially by the Chad Ulthway. Though I'm still a little annoyed that Jane Czar got taken out by a grenade, you know, someone who should be on Primarch level. Just, never mind. I'm going to start ranting about Chaos and, Space Marine bias. But yeah, Night Lords, they're fun. Evil mustache twirling villains, they're just baby Dark Eldar on that, but still, they're mid. I can't have too many complaints against them. Iron Hands. if you're an Iron Hands player, I honestly am terrified for you. Like, you picked the most boring of the boring Space Marine chapters. They were irrelevant during the heresy, besides that one chat I forget whose name I even forget at this point. You know, if you read the heresy, you know who I'm talking about. But then, you know, the other Iron Hands betrayed him. But back to the point, Iron Hands, very boring, 40k. They're just one of those chapters that got thrown to the wayside. No one ever writes about them because they're not all that interesting. They're boring. And they had a very boring Primarch, but that's also due to the fact he died so early in the heresy, so it's not Heresy's Madness' fault, but it's definitely his Legion's fault for being so meh. Even like what we get from the before the heresy, like everybody thought Ferris was pretty boring, except Fulgrim for some reason. Alright, Raven Guard. I like the idea of them, but sadly they're also somewhat boring, but they also show up okayly in some Tau novels, so they're not awful. I don't know, I'll put them right under Death Guard. Yeah, that's where you guys belong. I can't say much about you, you're just mid. Salamanders, one of the few nice guy chapters, but I can't really say much. You guys don't really got in this much of an aesthetic besides fire. But I like most of your stuff, so I'll put you right above the Space Sharks. You're a relatively mid chapter. I wish GW did more with you guys at least. All right, I do not know who are these guys. These two chapters that are coming up, I'm concerned. These guys seem like utter nobodies. I can't peg who they are. I've never seen these two Chaos Warbands. So I'm going to put this, if you like this, I'm worried for you because you're so contrary. You pick the most underground chapters to be, look at me, how special I am. So, yeah. Oh, Space Wolves. You know what? I'm putting Space Wolves at the bottom. Assume if you got this far in the video, if there was another tier of, if you like this, I'm worried for you, just trash or a picture of a dumpster, that's where the Space Wolves belong. Awful chapter, awful Primarch, should have been annihilated. Magnus did nothing wrong. God, I hate Space Wolves, like, so much. And every single time I've ever seen a Space Wolf fan, they have been that greasy Moodin guy at the store. So, I've never seen anything that has to do with Space Wolves be cool. That includes Destiny. That especially includes Battletech. My God, do I hate Clan Wolf. Just, if anything has a wolf motif, you better believe my eyes are on it to try to detect any level of cringe. Because usually, if it has any bit of wolf in it, it usually becomes cringe. Look at Horus, called the Luna Wolves. Betrayed the Imperium. Hyper cringe. So I think I just proved my immaculate point there. Thousand Suns. Chad tier. Awesome guys. Awesome Legion. Awesome Primarch. Was betrayed by the Imperium, not the other way around. Have Ahriman and his books are fun. Egyptian wizards, so that's always cool. I'm not, as an Eldar player, I always do enjoy other magical factions. So there we go. Chad tier. Alright. Let's continue with the Ultramarines. I love their aesthetic. I actually like Rabute, but all their special characters are including, especially Sicarius. Yeah, all their characters besides this is weird. This is a Primarch that carries his boring Legion. Yeah, Rabute carries the boring Legion, and their aesthetic is actually really good. I love the Space Realm vibes I get from them whenever I see them in artwork. It is such a shame all their characters except one, whose name I forget at the moment. He had that cool trilogy with Dantiok. No, not Dantiok. Hanzo. I forget his name. Ventress. There we go. Yeah, Ventress. If Ventress and Titus are your only cool characters and one of them's a video game character, that's an issue. But they're still way better than, most chapters, so I'll give them that. Word Bearers. My favorite Chaos Legion. I love the word. This one's a pure bias on why I'm putting them in the Chad tier, and I don't care. I love their aesthetic. I love their lore. little rascals they are. And, you know, this isn't like, oh man, I love all the demonic stuff they get, like, you know, the Master of Possession and stuff. It's so evil in that, I don't know, Word Bearers above all else is definitely the most biased pick. I can see a lot of reason for putting them in mid, but I love these guys. If I had to start a Chaos Space Marine army, it would definitely be Word Bearers. No way I would pick, like, yeah, it'd definitely be Word Bearers. Alright, gushing about the Word Bearers along. Alright, let's start World Eaters. Mid, especially with their new models kind of sucking. Going rah, kill, smash is not really enticing lore. They're one of the few legions that got ruined by their Primarch, which is saying something. Like, how do you get worse after meeting your Primarch? Apparently only Angron knows how to be that much of a colossal fuck up. Anyway, I'll give them mid tier just because Karn is pretty okay. So we'll just put them in mid tier. Nah, fuck it. I'm putting them in mistakes. They're a mistake. Alright, let's continue on. Ooh, the White Scars. Ah, man, if it wasn't for the Horus Heresy, they'd be a mistake too. But Khan elevates these guys. All their Horus Heresy books were pretty kick-ass, so we're just gonna put them above the Salamanders. Actually, we'll even put them above the Crimson Fists. Jagatai Khan's an absolute lad. I love that guy. One of the best Primarchs. And I don't really have much to complain. Oh man, a lot of Chads today. But then again, like, when you have so many, like, Space Marine and Chaos Space Marine chapters out there, you know, the good ones will always rise above the top. Not a lot of bad ones. I would, let me see if I can restructure these to make this more in line with my feelings. Yeah, I'd like the Chads in place. No, I'll put the Word Bearers above, not the Word Bearers. I'll keep them at the bottom. Thousand Suns are definitely better than the Emperor's Children. Iron Warriors can stay where they're at. Ultramarines are the king of mid-tier. Flesh Terrors, I'll move them down beneath. White Scars. Alpha Legion, they're better than the Space Sharks. At least. Everyone else is in a pretty good spot, though. I like the Night Lords better than the Grey Knights. And the Raven Guard. What am I doing? And the Death Guard. No. I can't name a single Death Guard character besides that Weasel, so I'll leave him here. Like I said, if you're a Space Wolf player, I imagine I've already scared you off. Every single time I get the chance, I will gleefully crap on them. But yeah, this is my list for the best Space Marine chapters. If I missed any, let me know. Or, you know, tell me the Space Marine chapter that wasn't on this, and I would tell you where I would put them. And, you know, tell me where you would change yours. Give me I want to have a good discussion. But anyway, that's all for today. You guys have a great one, and remember, I live in your walls.